What's up, everybody? It's me, Michael Magneto 7 Crawford, and I'm here to invite you to get my book, Playbook to Production, Volume 1. This book discusses the fundamentals of how to become a music producer in today's industry. It covers things like how to monetize your music, how to stand out amongst the crowd, even how to pick the proper gear. If you want to be serious about becoming a music producer today, cop that book. Peace.
NEDO.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Joseph Wyatt, how you feeling this morning, buddy?
Feeling good, man. How about yourself?
Good. I want to introduce you to all the listeners at the MAD LUCRATIve Podcast.
All right.
Hey, man, I'm excited. I love highlighting businesses that's just doing their thing in the market and just killing it, especially when you're from the hometown.
Absolutely.
So everybody at the MAD LUCRATIve Podcast, we got Mr. Joseph Wyatt here with the Benz Boys. Got the best soul food in Greensboro, North Carolina. Matter of fact, in North Carolina, we gonna go there. We got
the best food, soul food in the country. Let's go to it.
I like how you talking. So you right now, where are you? Where are you located now?
We're in Greensboro, North Carolina. We've had our roots here for a while. My family has owned restaurants from Virginia to every part of North Carolina. But this new project with Benz Boys is something that we created about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And it really embodies everything that we have been doing as a family for the last years. So I need to, right now we're just having the opportunity to just get off our feet and do exactly what our dreams and goals that we've been wanting to do for a while. I mean, when you have owned franchises and you've been partners with other people, you have restrictions to the things you can do.
Okay.
And we've always wanted to be a nationwide brand. So we're just doing it a little different this time.
Okay, I love it. Where did it all start? Like, who was the initiator of the business?
So the crazy part about this, my dad and a partner of his owned a business called Sid Wheels, and it was a prosperous comfort food place in Jamestown, North Carolina.
Okay.
And COVID hit, and I think that a lot of times with partnerships, and I want all your listeners to understand this, you have to understand your partner in everything in life, because your growth is going to depend on that partner. Does that make sense?
It make a lot of sense.
What happens is you are, myself, I came into the picture, my dad and the partner was getting a little older. Mm-hmm. My thoughts were, okay, I come from corporate America, so product development.
Okay.
And I'm not a chef, I'm a business guy, right?
Right.
So I try to take a product and, try to expand it. So that's naturally my talent. It's my God-given talent.
Sweet.
So when I came into Sid Wheels, I quit my job in corporate America, came into Sid Wheels. I had a meeting with both my father and his partner, and I told them what I wanted to do as far as growing the business. Mm-hmm. And, I think everything sounds cool when they don't, when people don't believe all the way that you can do the things that you tell them that you want to do, right?
Yeah.
They don't know the magnitude of where you can take it, or the magnitude of who your help is can take it. Does that make sense?
That's a bar. That's a bar right there.
Right. So, I am, I would consider myself a follower of Christ, the understanding that I'm his brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm Christ's brother. When Jesus was trying to teach the disciples, we are all brothers. When he looked at Peter and said, "Come on out here in the water. Look at me. Believe in yourself. You can walk." Peter walked on the water, right? until he looked down and started doubting. And the doubt comes from the other people. And I say this because everyone is not going to believe in what you do, right?
Right.
So, we did Sid Wheels and we grew that business. We made it, and I won't say I will say we, because
Right.
together collectively, my father and Mr. and his partner, I won't call any names, they really, they knew what they were doing. They did a great job. My dad is a tactician. Mr. Sidney was a great at what he did as well. But I think that them coming together, branding it, everyone looking the same in the building, putting things out there, like making it a force is what I came in and actually did. And people, as you grow and you start making that kind of money, things start to change because people start saying like, "Hey, I was about to retire. I don't know if I want to step away." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Right. When you get the recognition and all those things, and then COVID hit, and I had control of all of the social media and that sort of thing. So I understood that when we closed the store down for a couple of weeks, we still had our following was still strong. But I think that his partner had taken the opportunity to say, "Hey, when we come back, we're probably not going to be able to afford to bring Joe back." Okay. And that kind of, when that, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is you probably don't have time for my entire story, but when I tell you that, like, there was a peace in my heart, understanding that, I quit my job, I had nothing, but God made a way. So we had our food truck. Our food truck ended up being, in the most popular part of town that had never had a food truck before. Imagine you going to South Park, Charlotte, and having a food truck right beside the Cheesecake Factory. You understand?
That's a spade move right there, though.
Right, absolutely. So think about this. I took over Wolfgang Puck building with my food truck outside, and it was right beside Cheesecake Factory and PF Chang's, right?
Okay.
In Greensboro. So we grew our business. We grew our business to the point where, the partners at Freddie Shopping Center really, they were impressed at what we were doing. They gave us the opportunity to go inside the building. And, they gave us a lot of things that were God-given to get us on our feet. And we appreciate them for that. And they still are advocates of our business. So today, we are in, Freddie Shopping Center, which is the key most centralized place here in Greensboro. And our business is booming, and it's able to touch everyone flowing in and out of Greensboro because it's a centralized place where everyone that travels here comes. So, people come off the plane, and people in Charlotte, and so we are touching so many lives of people everywhere. I would be not giving the homage to where it is. I travel a lot, and in my travels, my favorite restaurant is Busboys and Poets in DC. I mean, they have and the thing about it, I love the fact that you can go and interact with them. And it was a restaurant that highlighted the social constructs of the African American community, with books and artists and all those things. And I always wanted to bring it back. I reached out to them like, "Hey man, can we bring a Busboys here to Greensboro?" He was like, "No, but you know what, Joe? I'm gonna show you how to do this." You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
I
understood it, but I put my own little twist on it. So now, as far as the art and the artists that you're empowering on your podcast, I understood that you are bigger when you are inclusive of everyone.
That's right.
And we're gonna get back into that inclusiveness later. So I allowed, I didn't go out and buy any pictures for it. I got artists, local artists, and said, I was like, "Listen, man, you want a shot? You want to sell your stuff in my restaurant? We're gonna do that."
I love that, man. I love that.
Right. So we were able to give them the opportunity to be able to say, "Okay, for free, because you're giving me artwork for free, I'm gonna let you sell your product in my building on the walls. I just need and showcase your product. You know,
Man.
so when you walk into Ben's Boys, it's almost like being in an art gallery. When you hear, when you hear the music is playing. So the African American community and the culture is being displayed at its premium level at every aspect. We have local artists, authors. Right now, as we speak, there's a story time going on for kids in the back room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got several kids in the back room that are being read to by a local author that is being able to display their books. And we do this every week to be able to give these kids that experience that you and I had when we were young. You
Man.
understand what I'm saying? When we
That's
were
a game
young,
changer, bro. For
right?
real.
So, we have an interactive, it's a community based restaurant. We feel and we touch your senses in every part. We have a spoken word and local artists um, exhibit on Thursdays coming up. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't want to, and like, not all the time do other cultures get to experience our culture in a way that us, not saying professionals, but just in a premium way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many stigmatisms of the African American community that very rarely do we ever get to share things with someone and engulf them in our culture in a way that hugs them like grandma did, but gives gives them the opportunity to say, "Man, this is nice.
Yeah.
I love it." You know what I'm saying? So when you come in, my thought process is to say, "Okay, we are going to touch you in every sense that you have. We're going to touch you in your smell. We're going to touch you in your visual. We're going to touch you in your hearing, your hearing. We're going to touch you in your taste,
Yeah.
and we're gonna overstimulate you in a premium comfort level. Does that make sense?
Make a lot of
And
sense.
and then on top of that, like, we are not selfish or competitive to our own people at all. So I'm about to do a contest for a new local artist that wants to a new local food producer that wants to use my food truck to put their product out there. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that. That's a play, man. I like
You see what I'm saying?
that.
And we gonna do that every month because some people need to have the chance to get their product out there before they spend the money on doing it. They got to
Right.
see that they can do it. They got to feel what it takes to get it done.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, that is what that's a God given business right there, because basically you are feeding the community in every way. We go out once a quarter and feed the community for free, right?
Mm.
All right.
So you
So
doing
I
it four
mean,
times a year?
4 times a year we go out and just feed the community for free. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that is just something that is a part of our roots. I mean, Ben's boys is Ben Wyatt is my grandfather. It's my dad's father, and
Oh.
he was the first person that we knew that had a food anything truck, mobile anything. He used to go around the city, and they used to wait for Mr. Ben to get there to get their little candies, their razors, and all these things. This was back in the '60s and in the '70s. You know what I'm saying?
That's all
And
right.
a lot of times these kids didn't have money to get their food, but he made sure that at least you had a couple of gummy bears or this or that or some. Everybody felt special.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're just doing this as an extension of the legacy that him and my father and my uncles and you know his father, my great great grandfather, did. So this is a special thing, and we're taking this to the next level because everybody wants us to do another restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. Like a
But
brick and
we
mortar.
a brick and mortar. But what we have decided to do is to really change the game and get into product and uh, food development at a
Okay.
at a raw level. So now we looked out in the marketplace, and there are not many or at all food distributors that
Mm.
distributed their own food. So what I'm doing right now, I'm getting my food out, right?
Right.
I just did a contract with Aladdin Foods, where I'm gonna be in about 20 HBCUs with my hot sauce,
Hold
my
on, man.
my seasonings,
Oh,
my lemonade. They'll all be there. I'm gonna do a deal with Food Line, Harris Teeter, and Lowe's to be in our local stores first, so we can control them and make
yeah.
sure our product is moving. Does that make sense?
Dude,
And
hold on.
then,
You landed Aladdin food, though, first off.
absolutely.
That's a
Matter
play
of fact,
by itself. That's a play.
yeah. If you go to our Instagram is Ben's Boys Comfort Food, and follow us right now, you guys. You'll be able to see the journey as we grow as well. But
I put
we
it on
were
the
in
bottom of the
Baltimore.
screen so people can have a hashtag.
Okay,
Yeah, I got you.
so we were in Baltimore last week, and we solidified that deal with the CIAA and Aladdin Foods. So I mean, when you're at the games, you can get the hot sauce and the seasoning on the tables.
Man,
When
hold
you
on. Let me
at
get. I
this.
gotta give you a clap for that, bro. I gotta get. We can't just skate past that, bro.
Oh man, you crazy, man.
That's a
But
play.
see,
Like,
right.
dude.
And
First
listen,
off,
like
before you
this.
keep going, I want you to explain what raw food, raw material is for the listener that don't really understand what that means, like the
Okay,
magnitude
so
of it.
all right, so if you can understand that, like a lot of times in the world of food, right, we're usually just buying it, and we're buying other people's product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to be sourcing our own product and getting them created from the core. So we have our own, seasonings, hot sauce. The bigger play on all of this is the fact that my dad and I and our other partner are about to fly to Chile, South America, and be able to source our own seafood coming into the country,
Come
so we
on,
can
bro.
capitalize on minority contracts of raw seafood, and other kind of meats that you're getting from companies like Performance and Cisco,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to sell those things, package Ben's Boys salmon with our sauce in the packet at Food Line. So
Come on,
if
man.
if you want to be able to get Ben's Boys salmon down in Charlotte or in Monroe, you can say, okay, let me go to Food Line real quick. Let me unthaw this premium salmon, throw it on the grill, and then take the little packet like it's. You remember back in the day they had that what's that little pastry called that you got, and they gave you a little packet of
It's
little seasoning on it.
a
It's
pastry.
the pastry for breakfast they got, and
Oh,
it's
it's like a toastos or
toasted strudels.
yeah,
Toasted strudels.
strudel.
Remember toasted strudels give you. It'll be the same way. We'll give you your salmon, and then we'll give you the little sauce to get right on top of it, and we'll
Man,
be able to give you raw material that black folk own in the grocery store that you shop and you feed your family with every day. And then on top of that, what's going to be the blessing is the fact that you got other people that want to be creative. Ben's Boys Premium Foods will be the distributor of other black
I love
food
that.
items. We don't have to take it all. We're going to take everybody with us.
Come
And
on.
then if you can, and then that means that black folk in a whole, we can do a deal with Master P when he wants to do his, he doesn't have to rely on another distributor to put his stuff out there. And he
Right,
got Flutie Flakes, but you can talk junk about him all he wants to, but that man has got cereal. He's
bruh.
got, you understand what I'm
He's the
saying?
ultimate hustler as far as
He the ultimate
entrepreneur
hustler,
in this
right? But
space.
what he really needs is a distributor. He needs somebody that's got trucks out here that is delivering this food to
Mm-hmm.
people and being
Logistics.
just logistics wise.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, that is where we need to play in that. It's cool in black barbershops and restaurants, and those things have been the core of our business community for a while. But now it's time for us to step back and say, okay, let's own a steel mill. Let's go own some
Mm.
farms. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Yeah.
let's like, because those are sustainable businesses that are going to last for a very long time. Is
Mm-hmm.
that right? So we do it at the core, and then we'll be able to help all these people. But I don't want to get on a tangent. We'll get But look, listen, this is so. I mean, that's the future of business. My dad and I, all of us are flying out to Denver, Colorado, because the Sheraton's, um,
Come on,
the
man.
Sheraton's boutique hotels.
You giving away
You
too
know what I'm
many
saying?
jewels right now.
I'm just listen, but the thing about it is like, what you have to do is you have to like get yourself prepared. You know the it takes a little bit of time to prepare yourself to be able to do the things you need to do to
Mm-hmm.
make those deals. If you just take a little bit of time to step back, even your artist, if there is an artist that is a painter out there that is like listening to this right here, I got painters in my building, and I told my wife this yesterday. I said, man, I got painters in my building and they can't sell their stuff, but they're talented, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a person like you and I, they
Yeah.
got money to
Yep.
go buy a painting is not going to put some of their paintings on their wall because it doesn't match the decor of what we're
Right.
trying to do in our home.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Make
Like
perfect sense.
I understand the abstract and the fact that artists want to have creative whatever with their art, but
Mm-hmm.
they gotta understand where the money lies sometimes, so they
Yeah.
can continue to grow and be able to do. People don't go to Kirkland's because they love the art. They go to Kirkland's because it matches something in their living room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now what you can do as an artist, you can say, okay, my product is going to be still tied to me and the things that I love, but it's going to match what they got in their living room. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It takes a change in your mind to be able to do that. It takes
Right.
it like you have to suck it up a little bit to go forward, and that's what we've had to do. Like there's a lot of no's. I will not bring a product in my building that's not black owned, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's hurt me. I can't
Yeah.
find a black beer. I can't like so I'm dropping jewels for y'all right now. If you are listening to this podcast right now, understand that I am a black business that wants to find a black owned beer. I just found one. Um it is in
Is that
Atlanta.
Chicago? Okay.
It's in Atlanta. Okay.
All right.
Now, so what I'm telling y'all is there's millions to be made in North Carolina with your. Okay, I'm giving you $1 million right here. Okay, I'm giving you $1 million. If you do a black-owned brewery and it's dope, you're gonna make $1 million. Okay,
You know what's
all
crazy
right,
though? I'm in Atlanta. You know, we stay down here.
right,
And I don't even know about that black owned beer.
exactly. But you know why? And you check this out. You know why? For years, why black people really don't drink beer, like because it's never been palatable to us. We don't
Mm.
like. You know what I'm saying? So you may have tried one that you like. Okay, I like a Stella. I like something that's clean and crisp and just that I can just drink. We don't like stouts and all this
Nah,
heavy stuff
I don't
because
like
it's
I don't
not
like the heavy stuff.
because it's not palatable to you. Your taste buds and the things that make you up as an African American man is not the same thing that makes up someone else, and it's okay. That don't mean that it's racist. That don't mean that I'm racist by saying it. It just
Right.
means that it just is what it is. We like different things. Different music moves us
Right.
differently. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? When Shamia is out there singing, doing her thing, it moves people from the African diaspora a little bit different than it does white folk.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
they don't mean nothing different. I mean that it's racist or anything like that. It just means that it's different, and we have to start understanding that part and capitalizing on that part.
Right.
When you start to get Ben's Boys hot sauce in your house in Atlanta,
Yeah.
it's gonna make me smile because it's tailored to your palate. It's
Well,
not tailored. You know what I'm saying?
the thing is, the fact that you talked about the raw foods, I might have to call you on another line when we ain't on the pod,
All right,
because
right,
we
right,
we
right,
got some stuff in the play in the works right now in this market. So
right,
that's why Shamil was like, no, you need to talk to him. You like we really need to talk to him, connect. Like for me, on the pod, I talk about broke friends, I talk about money friends, right?
right,
uh for me, I might be the broke friend amongst my friends that got 20 million and up.
Right.
And I'm okay with
Right.
that. It's always a level of growth that's available right there. But for the
Right.
people that's the broke friends, I'm like, yo, we all got to pull each other up. And like, okay, if 50,000 was a big deal for you last year, let's try to aim for 100 this year and keep growing. And I mean that applies for the food market, for the music, for the art, like even the play. I don't know if y'all caught it, but the play where you was talking about the artists not being able to sell their stuff. I think when they're creating, they have to have a certain level of selflessness and say, okay, I see that this is a missing link in the arts market. I can paint
Right.
this and it'll go with everything. Like IKEA. You know, they source artists too now. And they
They
do
do.
prints.
Absolutely. Right.
So I don't know why we can't do it. We can do the same thing.
We could do the same thing. But you know what they're doing? They're looking at it from a standpoint of saying, okay, let me look at all of y'all, and I'm gonna take all the ones that I can see that will fit in
Mm-hmm.
someone's house.
Yep.
Instead of, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and that is the key. Like everybody, you know, um, Basquiat is the I mean, he's the anomaly of this thing. He had an Andy Warhol to be able to say, okay, these are the things that this is cool. Like, you know, design your room around this painting,
Right.
not this. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, until you get to the point where someone is designing the room around your painting,
Yeah.
you need to have your painting be comparable to the rooms that you want to sell them in. And I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. Um,
That's $1
I'm
million
just
though.
saying it's just I'm giving you a million. I'm get like, you know, I do have $1 million company. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey.
I'm trying to give you some game to this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I think
So
the ones that want it will take away what you're giving. You know,
right.
it's always gonna be a few that's gonna, oh, we black and we can't do this. The man stepping on our
Yeah,
neck.
listen, yeah, you know, like we do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be like, man, you know, why can't we be free to do what we want? You can
Yeah,
be free to do whatever you want to do.
you really are.
And money is not the key to everyone's thing. And I'm not even saying that like that's the key to ours. Ours, our key, the money is the byproduct.
Mm-hmm.
Our our driven and our drive comes from being able to say, okay, in the market of the US, of the world, like what are we missing? Let's fill that gap.
Right.
Right now, white, I'm not even saying white because it ain't white. Corporate America is wanting to do business with African Americans at all levels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are just certain things that we're not able to capitalize on because we don't have them. Can you imagine if like if Rubbermaid can buy raw material from a black company, but guess what? They want they want to do it, but
Yo.
guess who? There ain't nothing out there.
Nah.
There ain't no black companies out there to buy raw material from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do is we got to say, okay, all right, let's figure out selflessly. It might be 10 of us to be like, man, let's go buy this land and let's start a little steel mill out here in the cut. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yep.
Let's just make a ton of steel every week, and that's just what it be. But once we have the opportunity to produce it, the way that we can,
Yeah.
now you're gonna get a contract from a Duke Energy to say, I need you to ramp up your energy, and I'm gonna give
Man,
you the contract. Now you're a bigger company. See,
you
think
talking too
about it.
spicy, man. I'm too hype right
You
now,
know what
man.
I'm saying? So for us, Aladdin Foods, what is, and I told them this to their face, they are a blessing to our company because what they're doing is they're giving us the opportunity to be able to get on our feet, get us our warehouse, our distribution, everything built. So now we're going to grow with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give us more accounts, and we're going to go after other accounts. So our business is going to grow. And think about this. Now we can capitalize on getting some of. Now this is going to kill you right here, right?
Okay.
Where did you go to? Did you go to college?
I went to A&T.
You went to A&T, right?
Yep. Came out in '07.
How many black companies do you know that can? hire and capitalize on our higher educated talent.
A lot, but not. I mean, well,
That are not lawyer firms.
yeah,
Okay. So, like, for
yeah,
me, I'm saying, like, let's build a corporation that we need a national account rep for. We need a national marketing agency for. That is not just I mean, we've got them. I mean, Steve Stout's got
yeah,
an agency, and like we've got some big. I'm not this. I'm not like. I'm not discrediting the ones that have come before us that
right.
have been able to do that in that level. But I'm just talking about, like, as far like we need to create a black owned Johnson and Johnson, a black
Mm,
owned Tyson Food. You know what I'm saying?
bruh. When I
You feel
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
again, I'm not trying to give too much on the podcast. Everything you talking about right now is
Right.
exactly what my meetings and when I sit down with the people in the studio or whatever, I'm preaching the same thing. And I've been saying, people look at me crazy too, but I've been saying, okay, what Tyler Perry did was
And he
not,
changed the game.
huh?
He changed the game.
Yeah, but it wasn't a film move. It was a real estate play.
Right.
And everybody was like, what? I said, yeah, it's a real estate and hospitality play that he's really doing. And he's using film as the byproduct of getting the eyes and all that stuff. So I broke it down. I was like, well, he bought all this land. I guarantee you, watch this, bro. I said, I guarantee you in the next year or so, he's going to rent the space out to networks and to have people
Yep.
stay on the lot and everything just be all self-contained. COVID hit. Guess what he did?
Just that. He did that.
The exact same thing.
Right.
So everything as far as being the next Johnson and Johnson, shoot, even being the next Apple, and like
What?
we invested in a tech. Well, I don't want to make it about us, but it's a black-owned tech business that does facial recognition for airport technology. We
Oh, that's dope.
invested in that. Black wife, a husband and wife, killing it right now.
Right.
And I was like, we need 30 more of these. Like, but
But and that's why I say, like, listen, hey, we gotta see Ben's boys out there. I want y'all to go ahead and grab that product. You
mm-hmm,
know, make me a billionaire, because me being a billionaire equals a whole lot more billionaire. You
exactly.
understand what I'm saying? And I'm not scared to say it. Like, for me, when you support Ben's boys brand, you are supporting lifting up the entire community, and being able to invest in more brands like that and like such. That is what we're about. We're gonna make sure people like yourself and people, that are doing business in other areas, are going to be able to have the finances, because at the end of the day, it's about money.
Right.
Okay, it's
It
about the
is.
dough. Like, it's so crazy that, like, the U.S. is beating Russia not by strength but by finances.
Yeah.
The Russian dollar is worth a penny.
Yep. That's the only,
Like,
even in that, bro. I don't think a lot of people know the magnitude of what that means. Like even we did a breakdown on what inflation actually means and why it hurts the person that has the least amount right now.
right,
And
absolutely,
I pulled up a stat. I don't know if you saw the stat too, but it said right now, low income or poor. It didn't was it poor or right up underneath poor? 400,000.
right,
It was 400. I said so if y'all making 100 and under, that's low income technically.
yeah,
So I mean,
for
cause
real,
in perspective, that means you can't invest it like you want to. That means you have to live to a certain
right,
tightness in lifestyle,
right.
But bruh,
And listen, and I will tell everybody this too. We were just in God's grace when COVID hit, and COVID is just like everything else. It scared a lot of people, but it was the beginning of a tidal wave of things moving. Like, it's kind of like washing something away and bringing
mm-hmm.
something else in.
Yep,
And there are a lot of opportunities right now in the market because of COVID.
it
COVID
is.
has been a blessing to my family.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too. Us too.
because a lot of times, like, I may not have been able to get in that Wolfgang Puck spot when they was shut down, and they were and the shopping center was looking for just any kind of source of income. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because nobody understood, so I was able to fill that gap and be able to get in. But just unique situations like that, and for me, in my business right now, guess how many businesses I support in the business.
I'm gonna say, okay, I counted. I got 2 off the rip, as far as the
Right.
artists and the musicians.
Right.
I
I ain't
can't
gonna do that to you. So
how many, man?
there are 78 artists and of all different kinds of genres, whether it be musicians, whether it be artists, whether it be authors, that have product in my building right now. Right, 78. And I didn't want to wait until I was like a national person to be able to do it. You got to practice what you preach when you are like in the infancy. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because them same people that's making like $20 and $30 a week from you don't be making $1,000, $1,500 a week from you when you become a national brand.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And look, don't let them start messing with NFTs and understand what that is actually going to mean.
Right.
Because that's going to take it through the roof. That's millionaire status alone if they understand how it's going to work.
Right.
So.
Right. Absolutely. But listen, I got to go. I got to run.
Right.
I hope that I at least did, something.
You did more than something.
To this conversation. I would love to further this conversation with you. I'm gonna definitely be keeping in touch with you guys. Thank you for your wife, Shamia, for touching base with me and letting me know the great things that you guys are doing down there. And just let me know whatever you guys need. And I'll be down there for business here pretty soon.
All right, please do. And we need to
we'll
chop it up. We got to chop it up.
Absolutely.
I need. Look, I even if I had to pay for the mentorship, I'm fine with that. But I need some mentorships on the food and hospitality side because that's going to be a new space for us. So.
Oh yeah, it's all good, man. But I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yep. Mr. Joseph Wyatt. Only on the Mad Lucrative Podcast do we bring fire guests. You know what I mean? So, till next week, holla. Peace.